So, welcome to another session of mathematics class with Peter or STEM with Peter. Anyone? Are you savvy? So, today we are dealing with probability and we are going to be solving authentic questions under probability, authentic question. So, this happens to be a very interesting topic in mathematics, and if you're not careful you might not get it. So now let's start with various questions. We are going to take it from less complex to very complex. So now, pardon me, I can't take questions off it. I have to write them down and then we can solve together. Number one, it wants us to find the probability. Find the probability that a number that a number selected at random from 41 to 56 is a multiple of 9. So before I solve this question, I need you to understand that when they say probability simply means the likelihood of an event to happen. The likelihood of an event to happen. And the formula to find probability is the number of the favorable outcomes over the number of the total outcomes that you have. Yeah, don't forget that we still have our sample space, we have the total numbers, we have a lot of things under probability, so you need to be very careful. Now let's solve this question. Find the probability that a number selected at random from 41 to 96 is a multiple of 9. I know many of you, now when you're dealing with JAMB questions, JAMB strictly has to do with time. How long can you solve the question? Initially under JAMB, I don't think you should spend 2 minutes on that a particular question. So now imagine as an amateur student, I know you are going to be counting 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Well, you are right, but that easily takes away your time. So there's a little formula, there's a little method to do this. And this is what you simply do. In order to find the total numbers that we have, you simply say the last number, which is 56, minus the first number, which is 41. Then you add 1 to it. And don't forget that 56 minus 41 gives you 15. Plus 1. So I know our total number to be what? 16. So we have 16 numbers altogether. So we have 16 from 41 to 56 actually gives us 16 numbers. Now very easy. They want us to select the random numbers and multiple of 9 rather. Multiple of 9. So let's see the multiple of 9 that we have. And the multiple of 9 that we have here is 45 and 54. Multiples of 9 that we have. The multiples of 9 that we have 45 and 54. So that gives us just 2 numbers. So this gives us just 2 numbers. And don't forget that we already have 16 numbers. So if I'm going to do this, the probability of multiples of 9 will simply give me the favorable outcome for multiples of 9 is 2 over the total number that I have is what? 16. And don't forget that you have to always break it down to the lowest term, which gives us 1 over 8. This gives us 1 over 8. 1 over 8. So we are going to solve another one. We are always going to solve another one now. Now, let's look at another very interesting question. Now, a bag contains 5 black balls. A bag contains 5 black balls. There are a lot of questions on that probability that needs to be solved and needs to be attended to. And I realize that you need to be adept and familiar with the topic permutation and combination if you are going to really understand probability as well. But I know permutation and combination is also a very common topic in JAMB. So now, don't worry, that's fine. That class. A bag contains 5 black balls and 3 red balls. And 3 red balls. Two balls. Two balls are picked. 2 balls are picked at random. 2 balls are picked at random without replacement. 2 balls are picked at random without replacement. What is the probability? What is the probability? What is the probability that a black and a red ball are picked? Now, this is exactly a JAMB question. And this first one is exactly a JAMB question. These are authentic questions. They are not JAMB style. They are authentic questions. Now, a bag contains 5 black balls and 3 red balls. Now, you see, there's a common mistake that students make, and that's when the probability has to do it without replacement. When probability cannot be replaced, students are in error of this particular question. Now, but I'll break it down to you and let's see how interesting it is. A bag contains 5 black balls and 3 red balls. 2 balls are picked at random without replacement. What is the probability that a black and a red ball are picked? The first thing we need to do is to know our total number of balls. The total number of balls that we have, the total number of balls that we have, the total number of balls that we have is 5 and 3. That is 5 plus 3, which gives us 8 balls. But you see, there are 2 likely scenarios here that I want you to consider. There are 2 likely scenarios that I want you to consider. And the first scenario is, look at the question. The question says that what is the probability that a black and a red ball? Now, the first case you need to consider is that firstly, a black ball was picked, and secondly, a red ball was picked. Firstly, a black ball was picked, and secondly, a red ball was picked. Now, let me give you the instance of what I'm saying. Now, let's label this one as case 1. We can label our case 1 as first black, and then first black, then red. Now look at this logic. So what this means is that I'll look for the probability of black first. Now, the probability of black here, according to this question, because it was black that was first picked, this gives me 5 over 8. This is the probability of black. But now there will always be an issue with the red. And the reason there's an issue with the red is that, don't forget that there are still 3 red balls. But the problem is that they've been picked one after the other without replacement. And if they are picked one after the other, without replacement, what does this mean? I didn't put and then red, and then red. So what this simply means is that I multiply. Don't forget that and means multiplication in probability, and or means addition in probability. Now look at this. And then red. So now, but there's a problem. The problem is that they didn't replace the ball that they picked. So my total cannot be complete. They've picked out 1 ball. So my total cannot be complete. Now, instead of initially, my probability of red should be 3 over 8. Very true. But now they've picked a ball without replacement. So when the ball has not been replaced, it means that my total has now changed. -1. This now gives me 7 balls. So this now gives me 3 over 7 instead of 3 over 8. That's the logic. Now, so this gives us 15 over 56. Now, this is the first case. Now let's look at case 2. Let's look at case 2. First red and then black. Don't forget that this symbol means and. That mathematical symbol means and. Now, the first red, don't forget that red has been picked first. So now, the red is still intact. This gives me 3/8 multiplied by, I told you that and means multiplication. Then my black is what? 5. Now, it's the same logic for case 1. The ball is incomplete again because they have not been replaced. So this gives me 5/7, which is also 15/56. Now, this is for case 2. Now, they said, what is the probability that a red ball, that a black and a red ball are picked? That a black and a red ball are picked. So what they are simply asking you to do is that, what is the probability that case 1 or case 2 happens? That's simply the question. What is the probability that case 1 or case 2 happens? So this is what they are asking you to find. Probability of case 1 or case 2. And all means addition. So case 1 is what? 15/56. Plus case 2 is also what? 15/56. So this gives us 30/56. And 30/56 can also be broken down to be 15/28. Yes, 15/28. 15/28. So this is